I always say nullification like that's a word. What's good, Royalty Gang? It's your girl Raven. Today's reaction is actually from Mozart. So he's the very first guy that I ever did a reaction response to. The very first Locksmith video that I did, that was him. So he's back again. This one is called The Last Emperor. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Is it called Single Mother or is it called The Last Emperor? Either way, it's The Last Emperor, Single Mother. I want to say the artist's name is The Last Emperor and Single Mother is the name of the song. I don't know. Because I really want you guys to understand whenever I say I'm doing a reaction, it's raw. Like raw. Like I ain't seen none of it. So without further ado, let's get on to this reaction. First of all, I thought this was a music video. It's not. It's just the audio, and that's cool. So, I like the beat so far. I'm feeling the beat. Let's keep going.
This is a single story for every single one, on a single planet, under a single sun, in a single solar system. Some think it's odd, entire galaxy created by a single God, with a single thought and a single plan.
But that's just the gloriousness of God. He can do that. That's what he does. He makes stuff out of nothing. He makes stuff don't make sense, but he makes it work. That's what God does. So it is amazing. I wouldn't call it odd, but it is amazing that he is able to have all of us be singularly us on this single planet with a lot of other singularly us's. Just go with me. I know this is all grammatically incorrect, but just go with me. On a single planet with one singular sun, with one singular solar system that does all of what it's supposed to do for all of the planets, not just ours. So that is good point, but I wouldn't say odd. Secondly, that was a long intro. I tend to tap out of songs that have long intros. Kind of like if you're watching a movie and the first 15 minutes of the movie you're still seeing directed by, produced by, special guest appearance by, costume design, set design, lighting design, executive producer, first and second assistant. Like you don't want to see all of that at the beginning. That's what the credits are for. I feel the same way when it comes to music. But so far, we in it now, so let's get it.
Single earth, fashioned by a single hand. 7 continents separated from a single land. Many nations are created from
That was a 7 continents separated from a single land. Because if you know anything about geography, before we had 7 continents, we were one huge continent. And I don't remember what it's called. I'm gonna look it up. Like I said on my first video, we gonna be educated on this video. They tell you this stuff like in 6th, 7th grade. You don't remember any of it. Pangea. I had to look it up. Look it. Won't he do it? Pangea. Am I right? I'm gonna look it up anyway. It's Pangea. Before we split off into 7 continents that we have today, it was Pangea. It was one big, huge continent, right? So there's that very obvious reference if you know anything about the world you live in. Let's put it that way, because I think he's starting on a very broad scale, and I think if I'm reading into this correctly, he's gonna narrow it down as we go. But at the same time, being an African American, we were also ripped away and taken somewhere else from our continent over to this one, where we are today. So let's keep going.
Single man, a single nation, taken to a single place, where they simply aren't familiar with a single face. Yet this is not the story of
I read into it correctly, I think. A single nation familiar with a single face. The song is called Single Mother. I've realized this now. That's us. That's us. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it.
Single struggle, a single symbolism, nor a single couple, a young couple who raise a single seed, sworn protectors, offer every single need, forming a single balance, under a single order. From a single act of love, they have a single daughter.
Okay, so now he's transitioned into the black home. Or even, I think this may be a familiar place and a familiar topic for the black family, I suppose. But it's also, you see single white mothers, you see single Hispanic mothers, you see just single mothers in general, so I don't think it's really a black thing. It's something about creating something else when you're with somebody, and I guess having a child. I don't have any kids, so I can't totally relate, but I've seen other mothers talk about their children. I've watched my mother talk about me, and just other people talk about their children and what it's like to have one, and how you necessarily think you've loved all that you can until you get a child, and then you realize, dang, I can love this hard, I can love this much, I can love this fiercely. So that's dope.
On the way she put her faith in a single mother, and from a single life she became a single mother of a single son, born to a single girl,
Ooh, off a single lie, she became a single mother. I'm assuming that could be cheating, that could be him messing up in life, him getting shot, him getting put in jail, him dying, him just walking out for no apparent reason. Life. That's good. This is rich. All right, Mozart, you're giving me something that's like next level from Locksmith. Okay, all right, I like it.
home alone in the single world. Though her kids felt her single pain, with a single kiss she makes everything okay.
Okay, I couldn't figure it out at first. He's giving me a Tupac vibe. That don't. His voice kind of sounds like Tupac. I know it's not, but if you listen hard enough, you hear it.
Okay, I wrote this record in a single way, so the radio would play it every single day. I dedicate this to every single mother, just to let you know that.
Yeah, this is reminding me of, some say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I say the darker the flesh, then the deeper the roots. I give a holler to my sisters on welfare. Tupac cares if don't nobody else care. And I know they like to beat you down a lot, and when you come around the block, brothers clown or not. So please don't cry, dry your eyes, never give up. Forgive but don't forget, girls, keep your head up. Okay, yeah, I see the vibe. I feel that vibe. I'm here to give you a message. I'm here to give you something. I'm feeling that. All right.
We're thinking of you. If you're a single mother too, hey lady, this one's for you. Dedicated to every single mother, just to let you know that we're thinking of you.
I'm on a roll today, and if I must say so myself, I am on a roll today. I literally just said all of that. Kill it.
If you're a single mother too, hey lady, this one's for you. You were my first teacher, my first friend, gave me my first vision and my first glimpse of a bigger world.
Whether you're a single mother or not, if you are a woman, we gave birth to the world. Does that make sense? Because men can't carry babies, duh. But deeper than that, without the woman, there is no home. You may have a house, but you don't really have a home. Without the woman, there are no children, obviously. Without the woman, there is no better half. Does that make sense? Because in the Word of God, let's take it this way. He says, when a man findeth the wife, he findeth a good thing. Meaning that a woman can stand alone. A man can too, but their life will be enriched once you have found, or he has found, the woman that God has ordained for him. Makes sense? So, women do a lot of things. Introduce you to your first boy, introduce you to your first bout with life, introduce you to your first teacher, introduce you to your first friend. She's also the first person to tell you that her friend is fake, and then 2 weeks down the road you realize, dang, mama was right. That's your mother. She's also the one to backslap you harder than anybody else in your life. That is a mother. She's the one that holds you when you need to be held, and she's also the one that makes you stand up on your own 2 feet when you need to stand on your own 2 feet. She's the one that loves you unconditionally, and I mean unconditionally. I know this because my mother does this to me. She is the one that supports you. She is the one that will question you and push you and test you. She is also the one that, because you are a part of her for such a long time, if something's wrong with you, she knows it, and you can't lie to her. You can try. She's also the one that once she has disowned you and once she has said, I'm done with you, it is almost like the ripping away of hearts. Because that's hard. That's a mother for you, man. Single or not, that is a mother. That's a woman as well. But you also have to understand that just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you're a mother. Like me, I love kids. I think they're gorgeous. I think they're cute. I'm not gonna lie, some of these kids are little demons, but for the most part, they're cute little angels. But at this age, I don't want kids. I've been like this since I was 11. I don't want kids. I don't want to have them. Maybe a reason for that is because I'm just very focused on what I'm doing. I don't want anybody, and I don't want anybody romantically. Does that make sense? Right now. I'd love some more friends. I love some more business partners. I love some more networking opportunities and people that I can, work with because we're going in the same direction. But right now, I don't want a relationship. I don't want any of that, because at this point right now, with what I'm doing, it's a distraction, and it's not going to allow me to pour all of myself into my art, all of myself into my life, all of myself into my dreams and my goals and whatnot. I digress. Let's get back into this video.
Give me my first look, tucked me in the bed, and read my first book. And as I fell asleep, for the first time, little did I know you were showing me my first rhyme. I want to thank you for showing me how to be your man and turn my pain into poetry. Break my silence, express myself vocally, how to show the world what was...
Alright, I gotta stop it there. He said, I want to thank my mom for showing me how to be a man, how to be a real man. This is where I understand what he's getting at, but I disagree. Let me explain. There are women out there that because of the circumstances with which the baby came into this world, she is left alone. And she is forced to be both the mother and the dad. But I am not a supporter of a woman who has a man that wants to be in the child's life, but because y'all aren't together as romantically as you would like, you won't let him see his child. But he wants to be an influential part in his kid's life, especially a boy and a girl. Coming from a two-parent home, I am ever so grateful that I have both of my parents, because they give you two different views. If my dad wasn't there, I'd only have my mom's view. And my mom was a very smart, very brilliant woman. But there's just something that she can't understand because she is not a man. As is with my dad. If I just had my dad, I wouldn't get the feminine side of it. I'm a girl, it's kind of crucial. Like, who's going to teach me about my period? Who's going to teach me about boys? If he had it his way, I'd never date a day in my life. And that's just how it is. That's very much so normal. I would never wear makeup. I would never have his hair in my head. I would be doing half the stuff I'm doing if it was up to my dad or just up to my mom. And so I think it's very crucial that if you can find a father figure for your children, find one. If you can somehow salvage the relationship so that father can have a part in their life, y'all ain't gotta be together. It ain't even about you anymore. It's about that kid, because you are in a way tainting that kid's future, because now they will grow up and all they have is a mother, or they grow up and all they have is a dad. And sometimes you can't, because maybe the dad is dead, or maybe the dad doesn't want anything to do with them. That's when you start finding people in your community. It takes a village to raise a child. There's still some good people out there. You just gotta find them and look for them. Really, because I'm a Christian, praying and asking, look, Lord, help me out here. Will take you a very long way. So let's get back into it.
Once done locally, first one to take me on my quest for learning, first one to help me through life's stressful journey, and every single step I'm coming.
Here's the thing, I'm a daddy's girl to my heart. I love my daddy so much, love him so much, also love my mother very much, but there's just something about the relationship that you have, whether you're a boy or a girl, with your mother, because you came out of her. When I was younger, I told my mom everything. Now that I'm older, I tell my dad everything. But there's a balance. There's something that I'm not going to go tell my dad. Like, if I'm talking to a guy, I'm not going to go tell my dad straight up. Just because I don't want him to... That's a little... As a dad with a girl, that's another level of stress that I am just not willing to put on him until I think it's serious, until I think I need to tell him. My mom, though, she the first one to know. I'm not going to lie. She is the first one to know. And there's something about a mom. And of course, there's always a stigma of boys being mama's boys, and they tell their mama everything. And their mama already know what kind of girl you are before you meet them. They already know if they like you or not before they meet you. So it's just stuff like that. So this is very true. She's the one that's always there. She's the one that... She's your mother, man. Like, that's why I don't understand some people can disown their parents. Like, I don't care what they did. I get maybe you don't have as strong a relationship with them. I understand that, because life happens and things happen and people grow and people burn bridges and whatnot. But you totally disown your parents. That's unfathomable in my head. Like, that's not possible. I don't care what my parents do. I don't see myself ever disowning my parents. I may push back a little bit to figure out myself, because I'm at an age now where it's my life and I have to, do what I do and make it do what it do. But I'll never disown them. Never. Ever. With all that they've done for me, because a lot of people forget the fact that when it comes to parenting, let's just talk about mothers. Their life stops when they had you. So let's say I'm only child. So let's say my mom had 5 kids, right? She has 5 different lives to prepare for society. She has 5 different minds to groom, 5 different hearts to keep soft but guarded. She has 5 different dialects and vernacular to form and minds to transform. She has 5 different babies' bottoms to wipe. She has 5 different diapers to change. She has 5 different moods and personalities to deal with and learn. She has 5 different people to get to know. She has 5 different life problems that she has to sit down and be the counselor and psychiatrist for. She has 5 different boys that she has to kick in the throat. She has 5 different girls she got to kick in the throat. She has 5 different people she has to discipline and chastise, because she knows that if they keep going down the road that they're going down, it will not end well for them. Her dreams are put on hold. She may not stop them, but they are slowed. Her goals and visions and things she saw herself doing 5 years from now are put on hold, because you have 20 years. When you have a kid, it's not, when they hit 16 or when they hit 18, they're good. Nah, when they hit about 20, 25, when they're out of your pockets, when they're not calling you for nothing no more, and they call them to give you something, then you can relax. And then even then, you still got to worry about when life happens to them, because they're still your child. You got to worry about maybe when they get married. Stuff like that, just stuff that comes along with life and growing and going on this journey. But people forget that. So when people are, that's just my parents. No, they are people. They had dreams and goals just like you're realizing your dreams and goals. And they stopped it for you. They halted their lives for you. To groom you, to grow you, to grow me. And they're speaking from my relationship with my parents. And they've done so much for me. Once I get to a certain age, I like to think that maybe they're able to kind of go for their dreams now. I'm ever grateful for them, and ever grateful for all that they sacrificed for me, everything that they've instilled in me, all the crap they put up with me, all the times they said I love you, all the time they said I'm proud of you, all the times they said, you know that was wrong, you need to go fix it, all of those types of things, just the way they raised me. I'm very thankful for all of that. So let's keep going.
Cause I belong to a strong single mother figure. You were the first one to tell me I was something bigger. I was an emperor, not just another nigga. First one to show me how I might be strong.
We're kings and queens, y'all. We're royalty. That's why I call y'all royalty gang. You need to understand your worth, understand your value. You're not just another nigga. Like, you're not. Like, if you think of yourself that way, you aren't valuing yourself. You aren't realizing your worth and what you deserve. Because if that's all you think you amount to, well, boy or girl, are you mistaken?
When the days seem shorter and the nights seem long, maybe that's the reason that I write these songs, to set the record straight and try to right these wrongs. This is the saga of...
I can't even lie. As an artist, I think all of us are night owls. I can't even try to say that we're not. I have not met one artist that sleeps at night for the most part. Most of us sleep during the day or not at all. And we write, we work, we create during the night, because most of the other people are sleeping. And that's the most quiet time that we can get. It's the most sacred, it's the most focused, it's the most driven, because there's no distraction. Everybody sleeps. There's nothing to distract you. For the most part, if everybody's sleeping, nobody's on social media, nobody's posting anything. You have time to create and time for your mind to roam and your heart to get out of your chest, and for you to kind of come outside of yourself to look around and reflect and create some of your best work. So most of my videos are filmed at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even front with y'all. Like, that's just how it goes sometimes. Most of the time, actually.
A single mother that's been provided by a single brother. I had to write it in a single way, so the radio would play it every single day. I dedicate this to every single mother.
Another thing about artists and people that try to make it in this industry, because of the people that own these companies, because of the CEOs and the CFOs of the people that own these radio stations and these corporations that are supposed to distribute our art, they have to be politically correct, which means you can't be too blunt. You have to write it in a way that is subtle but get your point across. You have to write it in a way that is very directed and very pointed, but not stabbing somebody with the truth. I think a quote that Michael B. Jordan said is basically, you can't slap somebody with the truth all the time because it gets harsh. That's very true in the situation. You have to write it in a way that they will play. And that's just how it goes in this industry, man.
Just to let you know that we're thinking of you. If you're a single mother too, hey lady, this one's for you. Another lonely day, another lonely night. I dedicate this to y'all.
I'm still stuck on this Tupac. He really giving me a vibe. Like, it's that Pac vibe. Like, literally, on the downbeats he comes in, on the upbeats he fades out, and that's literally how Pac was. He wouldn't wait for the whole chorus to be over before he came back in with another verse. So I like that. You pulling off some greatness, sir.
It's only right. Another untold truth is now brought to light. Another lesson is learned, cause you taught me right. When I lost my way and the road got lonely, only you are the one who showed me. Only you are the one to hold me. Sometimes I feel like you're the only one who knows me. And if
so, with that being said, with what he just said, basically when times got tough, you were the only one that was there. When I was crying, you were the only one that was there. When I didn't know what to do, you were the only one that was there. A lot of times I've seen a lot of girls talking about, oh my gosh, he talks to his mom more than he talks to me. He's a mama's boy. What's the problem with that? You aren't married. If you're married to him, totally different conversation. But if you're dating him, or you're talking to him, or even if you're engaged to him, I feel like that's kind of in that married category. But those other two I named, the talking and the dating, you haven't earned that spot yet. You don't get to say, stop talking to your mama. You don't get to say that. I've heard so many girls say that. Maybe I'm overreacting. But you don't get to talk about that because you just got here. You got to earn that spot. You got to earn that gold star that he going to give you eventually. Maybe. But his mama's been there. It's his mama. There's also something that people say all the time that I've found to be true is however a man treats his mother and treats his sisters, his aunts, his grandmother is how he will treat you. If you see a guy and they're going to Red Lobster somewhere, right? And he opens the door for everybody, chances are he'll open the door for you as well. I've seen very few guys that treat their mothers with respect and then treat the girls like crap. Because most of the time, if you see that, the facade that they're giving their mother is just that, a facade. So, that's it.
Gotta stay single, hey, you should know this. I wrote this in a single way. The only thing I can do is pray that the radio will play it every single day. I dedicate this to every single mother, just to let you know that we're thinking.
And the other side of it is that a lot of times when it comes to being a single mother, you get bashed because, oh, you got knocked up, oh, you picked the wrong guy, oh, you had a baby out of wedlock, oh, where's daddy at, oh, you thought he loved you and he left you anyway, those type of things. But there is a certain fire and a certain tenacity that it takes to overcome all of that and still raise that child with the same love that you have for yourself, and that I will say that you once had for that guy. And nobody talks about that. Everybody talks about it. Oh, she made a mistake. Oh, she da 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 da. And you haven't. Why are you judging her? You've made plenty of mistakes, just like I have. Nobody is eligible to judge anybody just because you didn't do exactly what they did. Like, come on now, it's not right, and y'all know it ain't right. So let's keep going.
If you're a single mother too, hey lady, this one's for you. Dedicated to every single mother, just to let you know that we're thinking of you. If you're a single mother too, hey lady, this one's for you.
Honestly wouldn't even be mad if he had that, ooh child, things are gonna get easier, ooh child, things will get brighter. Like, at this point, isn't that song public domain? And if it's not, I wouldn't even be mad if he found a way to slip that in there, because he might as well have. He might as well have. So the rest of this is just his outro. Loved it. I have nothing bad to say about it. I like the fact that aside from his message, he didn't have to use a plethora of swear words. I thoroughly enjoy when I can listen to music and I don't have to worry about hearing MF this and GD that every other line. Like I'm very, very grateful for that. The only thing that I didn't like is the fact that his intro was stupid long and his outro is stupid long. But I do respect that he is the artist, so he gets to make that decision. I will say I liked a bit of the longer intro just because I had heard the message already. So I was able to kind of like reflect while I'm sitting there bopping to the music. But the beginning, I ain't heard nothing yet, so it's like, okay, why we keep listening to the same measure and the same verse and the same track and the same loop over and over and over and over and over again. Other than that, Mozart, you keep killing me with these reaction requests. You just murdering it. I love it. Keep them coming. If you have anything else you want to see, anything and everything, really, I don't really care what it is as long as it's not offensive to anybody and it's not derogatory or it's not something that you already know that I'm against. Leave it in the comments on me. Like, I don't care. It doesn't have to be anything deep like this. Leave anything, everything, anything funny, anything serious, anything you think that you want to hear my opinion on. Leave it in the comments, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on that bell so you get a notification every time I post a new video. Love y'all. Peace out, Royalty Gang.